Hi.
Hello.
Okay. My name is Tanae. I'm the current president of our NAACP chapter.
Great.
And so I just have a few questions. During your entire presentation, I noticed that you failed to mention that feminism is the belief that men and women are equal. So do you not think this? And then also, I noticed when you were talking about America's values and about how great America is, you failed to mention that our nation was built on the power of white men without the acknowledgement of black people, the Indians, women at least. So do you not think that men and women are equal? Do you not acknowledge the problems that we have here in America that does, in fact, not make America great?
All right. No. Let's be respectful.
Not triggered. I understand how to handle myself, unlike some Trump supporters.
Guys. It was a perfectly reasonable, respectful question. Let's be respectful.
Thank you.
On the first half of your question, women don't agree with you. Fewer than 1 in 5 women in America describes themselves as a feminist, even though over 85% of them believe in inequality between the sexes. Why? Because they know that feminism has become something different now. They know that the feminism you're talking about, it's very convenient, isn't it, to sort of treat men like shit. And then when people say, I'm not a feminist, say, oh, but feminism's out of quality. But that's not what feminism has become. It's not what feminism is anymore. Feminism is a mean, vindictive, spiteful, nasty, man-hating philosophy.
So
that
why
has very
would you
little, well, let me finish, because I let you finish, okay? That has very little to do with the equality of the sexes and a lot to do with man-hating. And the way that you know that is women are abandoning it in their millions. Women don't want feminism anymore. They have rejected your version completely. They don't agree with you. In the UK, the numbers are even worse. Just 7% of women in the UK describe themselves as feminist, despite the fact that 92% of women in the UK believe in equality of the sexes. It's very clear what's happening. They don't believe that those two things mean the same, because if they did, they'd give the pollsters the same answer to both those questions. Women know that feminists say one thing and do another. Women know that the primary purpose of feminism these days isn't to promote equality, it is to beat down on men. So you've lost, you have a big PR problem on your hands, and when you come up and say, well, how dare you not mention that it's actually just about equality of the sexes, don't you believe in equality of the sexes? I very clearly said in my speech multiple times that I do, and that I love women, that I care about them. But, this sleight of hand that feminists play, when they're perfectly happy to treat men like shit and spread these conspiracy theories about the patriarchy, these lies about the wage gap, lies about campus rape culture, and then turn around and play the victim and play innocent and say, feminism's just about equality. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So,
as to your second part of your question, I get some shit from conservatives for this answer, by the way, but I agree with you. I agree with you that there are structural historical problems in this country. I agree with you that the black community has been treated like hell by both Democrats and Republicans. I just don't think Black Lives Matter is the answer. I don't think that throwing your toys out the pram and burning your own cities is the answer. I think better schools would help. And I think if black people really wanted to improve their lot and improve their situation, they would start voting for Republicans. Because when they do, and when people police properly, black lives are saved. Bill Clinton, who signed the crime bill in which took thousands of black dads out of families and threw them in jail, the terrible, pointless, awful war on drugs, right? Replacing, the black dad with the state, which is what Democrats have systematically tried to do to you guys for generations. And Black Lives Matter's response isn't to say, we're going to try voting for the other guys because 40 years of this hasn't worked. What we want is better schools so that a poor black child who is smart could go to Harvard. They don't do that. They cause a fuss, they block a road, and they burn their own towns down. So yeah, I agree with you that there's a problem. But I think we probably have very, very different prescriptions for that.
I'd like to compliment Milo on introducing my children to anti-feminism before I did myself.
Because I want them to be happy.
Of course.
I'm a nice person. I want people to be happy, and they won't be happy if they're feminists.
Exactly. We have Solutions Sundays in Women Against Feminism, and a lot of our women are asking what we can do to help more women discover why we need to be against feminism and how to actually be solutions-oriented. What's your advice?
I think you should start being civilly disobedient. I think you should start... I mean, look, there was this movement in the 60s to burn bras. You know, women were all sort of, oh, we're giving up on this, you know, male expectations. Our self-esteem, you know, is not determined by what a man thinks of us. We're going to, you know, enter the workforce, give up on motherhood, all the rest of it. All these things were disasters for women. I think you should burn your briefcases. I think you should have women going out and going out and dressing up in suits and briefcases and put them on a massive bonfire outside your Parliament House and declare your love of motherhood. Declare your love of children, and the one thing feminists hate more than anything else is women who stubbornly won't make the choices that feminists wish they would. And talking about the supreme joy and value and profundity, life-changing value of being a mother is something that most of these vile, single, childless harridans cannot relate to and will never relate to and hate you for. So rub it in their faces, because life as one of us is great. You know, we have so much more fun than the other side. We just don't tell people about it. If you want to encourage people to live a happier, better, more virtuous life, don't tell them what to do. Show them that your way is better. Show them how happy and hot and fulfilled you are. And I would love to see a movement, I would love to see a global movement of women burning their briefcases, saying we were forced for 2 generations into the workplace, and you know what? We don't really want to be there.
I've paid a compliment for you, so your question?
Thanks. We really need you to come and stir up freedom of speech here, because it's not constitutionally protected in Australia.
Right.
And I think you think we're in a better place than what we actually are. We've had a government whose policy has been multiculturalism and mass migration for generations now, and we're not really allowed to question it at all. Yeah. The thing is, now the activist groups are lobbying to have Islam upgraded almost to the status of a race in anti-discrimination legislation by redefining it as an ethno-religion, and they're also pushing for it to be included in 18C legislation, so that would make it anyone could sue you if you made a joke about Islam. Yeah. So how are we supposed to fight this when we can so easily be sued for defamation, we can be sued for everything? What are we supposed to do?
I understand. One of the things that will surprise you is how many supporters I have and how many allies in this you have on the left. And you don't have to be sort of, as mortifyingly disruptive and mischievous as I am. You can be reasonable. I would encourage you to rise up in huge numbers. The left no longer has a monopoly on protest, on mob tactics, on boycotts. Use their own warfare against them. Organize and show up. This 18C shit is f***ing horrifying. This feelings-based law, the idea somebody could just say that you might have offended some hypothetical person and you could go to jail, you could have your life ruined, you could have your savings cleared out, your freedom taken away, your family destroyed, that the state, at the barrel of a gun, can force you not to hurt someone else's feelings. F*** that. Why aren't you all out in the streets? The advantage you have over the left as conservatives is you're able to keep your hands to yourselves, except in consenting situations, and your shoes to yourselves, yes. Although that ended out well for the shoe, for all of us, not so much for the guy in the pool. He had to wander back to the tube station in bare feet. Bless him. Let's hope he got plenty of cuts and bruises. No, I mean, we keep our hands to ourselves. I think mass civil disobedience, make yourself, the left wants to make itself ungovernable. I think the right we should make ourselves uncensorable. I think we should show out in our tens of thousands, if necessary, to protest laws that restrict our freedoms.